And so we are recording. Once again, I am bchelette. I'm with the Technology Integration Department at the PDC. I just wanted to turn my camera on to say hello. Don't feel like I know everybody's doing a million things. If you have to have yours off, and I'm going to turn mine off just because I know it's like just another distraction. But I just wanted to make sure I said hello. So today we're going to be talking about Cami. Is anybody using Cami already? And you can just drop a quick like yes or no in the chat. Because I might have some Cami pros. A lot of people have been using Cami for a while. It is a really simple, easy to use tool. But this year the district decided to go and purchase the pro version. So now you have the full, like all the updates. Fantastic. Love it. Some of y'all are already using it. That's amazing. So and I'm going to go ahead and continue to see a few people coming in. We'll continue to drop the link to this presentation. But like I said, I know a lot of people were already using it. That is why the district purchased it. It's not like Nearpod though, where we purchased enough for like everybody. Good for IEP purposes. Yeah, it is really helpful with that kind of stuff. And like I said, until I really delve in, because I keep talking my hands, you guys are only getting half the story. So we purchased enough licenses. We purchased about 17,000, which is a ton, but it's done. So it's less than half of our district because I think we were trying to feel out, like, are people going to use it and who's going to use it? So if you ever have any login issues, like if I am going to try to like if we hit that 17,000, take out people who have only logged in once and stuff from getting that educational license. So just if you ever have an issue with you or a kid or anybody having issues, let me know and I can fix that licensing issue, because there are two types of Cami. There's like Cami free and Cami educate with education license, and that's what we have. And you've just got a lot of like extra features with that. So it's super important to make sure like you link it with your EBR account, and so you get access to those really cool pro features that we have added. All right, so Cami, if you're new to this, if you're unfamiliar with what Cami is, it allows you to take any existing document, including PDFs, and turn them into interactive documents. Oh, good. Okay, well, if you're already using it, if you're using your EBR account though, you should automatically upgrade you to the pro. If not, let me know. All right, so what Cami is an extension, is a program that allows you to take any kind of document, including PDFs, and change it up and annotate and record on it and make it an interactive experience. And that, like I said, that's something that's just really, really valuable, because so far we've really struggled with that going virtual. Especially, I know I work with a lot of high schools, like anything, and you guys do anything with PDF. I know you guys have a lot with IEPs and stuff on PDFs, and it's just really hard. So Cami really has like an intuitive design and collaborative features that support that classroom environment, that as well as now features we've purchased that'll support with like signatures and stuff. So make sure you ask me questions about anything I talk about that I can help, like will be specific to you and what you're doing. So it's also now it's synced with Google Classroom. So anything we use with Cami now, you can share out really seamlessly in Google Classroom. And I know like recently I talked to a counselor at a high school, and they were sharing, like they had different forms of it. They wanted each kid to have their own copy of something. And then they wanted for teachers, like to be able to assign teachers specific things in a Google Classroom, and then be able to sign it and return it to them. And then like for teaching students with Cami, you're gonna have like that whiteboard option of great, you can make adjustments, accommodations, and share really easily. So like depending on what your role is, whether you're a teacher or you're an ESS coordinator, Cami does like play a role in your job. One, it can save you from printing, and I know at ESS you guys print a lot. You have a lot of hard copies, and we really hope to take that and support you in adjusting that. And also, like we can, using Cami, you can make a PDF personalized in that virtual setting where you can't necessarily, or hybrid setting where you're not with your student 100% of the time. You can take those PDFs and make them interactive and add those accommodations in where needed. And for students, like I said, it's really synced right now with Google Classroom, which is really, really beneficial to the kids as well. Right. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to stop sharing my screen because now I'm going to share my whole entire desktop. So if you've never logged into Cami before, you may have to create an account. And so Cami, just K-A-M-I, there is some Japanese company named Cami. So whenever you're trying to jump in or go to Cami, you're always going to try to do Cami app for schools. And I've got the link built in. But just so we're clear about what you're going to be able to do now that we have this upgrade, you will have access to this, and this is teacher and student will have access to a dictionary, an equation editor. Text to speech is going to be built into Cami. So that accommodation right off the bat already built in where the students and teachers can do text to speech. You can make video comments as can the students. And you'll also be able to take bigger documents and just take out specific pages and split and merge. You can even do a little screen capture within the document, make voice comments, and I'm going to show you how to do all this. And there's a really cool signature feature that's new, and like you can see, has been added because EBR purchased that upgraded model. So where do you start? I'm going to drop this in the chat too, but you can see right here, if you've got the presentation on, you can go to web.camiapp.com. There's also a Cami extension if you'd like to add that. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click web.camiapp.com. I'm going to copy this and put it in the chat as well, just in case, just to save you some mouse clicks if you haven't pulled that up yet. And let me know if you guys have any questions. Just drop it in the chat. We're not a huge group. You need to unmute yourself. So you're going to go to web.camiapp.com. If you haven't created an account, I'm going to log out so I can show you where to start. You can see mine right here. It says license education. If you're signed in your EBR account and it doesn't say license education, you need to let me know because that's what we should have. Because you can see I have a license dashboard and I can make sure that you have it. So if you haven't created an account before, you will have to go ahead and create an account. With anything with EBR, you should always try to log in with Google and select your EBR account because that's how those credentials are going to roster. So if EBR ever does purchase the pro version or anything, you're always going to use that sign with Google and use that EBR account because that's how things are going to connect. Whenever possible, use that sign in with Google for EBR so it can just link and you don't have to think of another password. So right here, here's my main screen. Does anybody have any issues about account creation? If you're working on it, it will ask you like what school are you at or anything like that. Let me know if you have any licensing issues, like this is, I have a free camp and I need a pro, an education license. By all means, let me know. You're gonna have to create that account so it can connect it. So you can see this is my main screen. And it's pretty straightforward. It's going to have my recent. It's not fancy, not a lot of bells and whistles. I'll also, I'm going to dive into the basics, but I have the handbook here. Cami has a fantastic handbook, like lays out everything you could possibly need. I've got this linked on this slide deck. I can drop that in the chat as well. It's a really, really great, like if I'm going too fast, or if you're just kind of the person that needs like a guide, this will be your go-to. It's really, really good. And they've got some really good stuff that they've made on YouTube, playlists about how to use it in the classroom, even with specific subjects. I'll be doing use Cami in the math classroom later this week, just because there are some, specific things you can do with subjects, and I want to make sure we touch on that. So I've got a slide here. You could also pass this on to your students if they're struggling with Cami. Feel free to make a copy of this. But this is going to be all of the features laid out for you. Everything with a little arrow telling you exactly what it does. So if later, like, what does this button do? Remember, I've got this slide right here, slide 8. It's got all of your stuff here for you. All right. Please let me know if you have any questions. I am here to help. So I've gone to camiapp.com, created my account. I'm here on my main screen. Now I want to work with my document. You can open from your computer, because I know a lot of stuff isn't saved on your Google Drive and stuff. It'll link straight to whatever computer you're on. Now, if you're at home, you're working on your personal device, there isn't a way for you to access things that are saved on your work, like your network drive. So that is why I always suggest open it from Google Drive. But if you do have something saved on your computer, you can't access it if you're logged on that computer. And I can even create my own. I can start from scratch. I rarely have to start from scratch. When I'm in Cami, I always have something I'm already trying to edit, but that is an option as well. If you want to start creating something in Cami and building it out and organizing it that way, that totally is doable right here. But I'm going to start here. I'm going to start open from Google Drive. And you can see it's going to go straight to my drive. It is connected because I did that. I logged in with Google, which is why it's so essential. And you can see I've got all this stuff here. I always like to use the Cami Handbook as my example, just so I can kind of refer back to it because it's really nice. And so it's linked to my drive. I selected it, and now I'm here at that screen that I showed you earlier. I've got all these icons up here, all these icons over here. Remember, I got this quick guide. If you've got any issues, can't remember what something means, I'm just checking for questions. So right here, now I've got my document here, and this is where I can go to manage it. So I can go to add whatever I need to add. My assignments, whatever. So right here, starting off, I have a dictionary. And we talked about that. That might be, accommodations students have. It might be something you need. It is my first button right here, my dictionary. And see, so now when I have that highlighted, I just click on the word and it'll pop up for me. Did not know that. Divine being, now something you learn something every day. So you can see right here, with that dictionary on, all I have to do is click on a word. My text-to-speech option. if I click right here, it's going to start reading. It just reads aloud. It reads where I click. It's a super, super simple way. As long as this is here, I click, it's going to stop reading, and then I hit stop to make it stop. I can change the voice, and I've got some different voices. And I can do the speed. So it's pretty neat, you know, to allow students, you know, just to have a difference, so they could play with this and find a voice they like. It might drive you nuts to try all the different voices, but they do have that choice in how it reads to them and the speed. If they need to slow it down, I have it set at 1, but if you need to slow it down or anything like that, you do have that option. And like, it's a pretty straightforward menu. When I hover over it, it will explain what it is. Questions about text to speech? All right. If I want to mark off this text, and the students have, like I said, their menu will look exactly the same. So you might have them highlight or strike through or anything like that. Right here, I've got my text highlighter, my box highlighter, my strike through, and my underline, and then I have my color choices. But if I want to highlight text, that's all I have to do is select it. And then if I want to unselect it, I can just change the color right here. But say I just want to highlight this, or I want to throw it away. Like, I highlighted too much right there. I didn't want all that. So I've got my highlighter. This is all I want to highlight. There I go. You can see when I go back and hover on it, I've got the option to change the color. I can leave a note. And I can even do voice typing. So students will have that option as well. They'll still have to do, like, please review this question. I didn't speak loud enough. But that is an option. Those are the best example. I didn't do it. That was I did poorly on my part. They will have to speak really clearly if they want to do that. But if you could just tell them to speak slowly. I talk way too fast. Right here. Speak slowly. Speak slowly, period. And so it'll turn on that voice type and they'll have that option. They just have to talk slowly and enunciate. Not always my skill set. I have the box highlighter, so I can highlight, like, if I need to highlight an image or something, if I really want to draw it out. And then I'll have the strike through option, like if I have a to-do list or something, I'm going to strike through this. I can do that, and then my underline option. So right there, the kids can annotate the text, the teacher can annotate the text. And to remove it, you just use the trash can. My favorite, and we're about to jump into my favorite stuff. Does anybody highlight your own typed words? Like, you made a text box and added it, and then it was highlighting it?
It's a PDF that comes from the district that we use that we can type in and save. But I was just seeing if there's any way that I could highlight what I type in, because there's some legal things that we have to send to people.
Yeah, could you use the box highlighter? Because that just makes a square.
Where's the box?
Like, right,
highlighter? The one below
right,
that?
Yeah, see where it says this text highlighter and then the box highlighter, and then that's just like a square. And I can put that wherever.
Oh, I got you. I see. Okay. I got you. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. Thanks for asking. yeah, once again, like just chime in if you've got any questions. One of my favorite features, like maybe not for student interaction, are the comments. So they're really, really easy. And or like you said, if you've got something you need people to there's somewhere they need to sign. If you know somewhere there's need to sign, you could even put a comment there as well, like, hey, sign here. And to add a comment, all you do is see my little text bubble right here. I just click. And that it's going to do it for me. Now, for students, if I'm working with students and I want to do a voice comment, I do a similar thing, but it's going to look for my audio. It's going to start recording immediately, and that's going to stick to this. So if you want to add like written instructions, audio instructions, you can do that there as well. Video comments are really cool. I think you can add, like, you can point to, you doing something. It automatically starts. It's recording right now. Is I have my camera on, because I don't have my camera on 3 places, it'll break it. But it is really nifty. It automatically starts recording, so you could see you pointing to it. And you can see this is just me, as long as I have the pink box doing what I want it to do, and that's what it's going to do. So right there. Now, if I want to do a screen capture, this is super cool, especially for my math people. And Mr. Stewart, okay. Yeah, I was about to say, I was getting a little feedback. If you have a question, feel free to unmute yourself. I could just hear myself talking. You just tell it where you want to share. You can make that screen recording if you want to point out what you need people to do or something like that done, and it's going to save right there, that screen recording. So you can see you could use it with students, or if you're sending this to somebody, you might want to like have you circling real big where you need to highlight, where they need to sign or highlight. So yeah, I know those are all things you guys have to deal with a lot. I taught at West End Middle School for 12 years. And I always very much depended on my ESS teachers to keep me right with documentation, because y'all are the masters. So that's how you would go to make a comment, like I said, in any scenario. This menu will not be any different for students. This is a Cami account. Those of you who are adding text, this is where you would go to add that text, and you have all your traditional text features here at the top. And once again, to type, you click right here, and you have that option as well, as do the students. And I've just got my basics here, my equations, my hyperlinks. Any of those kinds of features you would use. An equation, I know this is like a big thing for my math people. You can insert symbols, all that kind of stuff. That was such a struggle for so long. Cami's on top of it. If you need to draw, I know these maybe are less used features, but you can make a drawing. And then delete it if you need to. I got shapes. I can make normal squares, whatever I need right here. And if there's something here I did that I don't want anymore, I'm like, this is a terrible idea, all I do is I hit that undo button. But I can add shapes, I can add drawings. If I needed triangle with, because I was building out a quiz and I needed something very specific, I can do that, which I think is, like I said, super, super, super cool. And the thing I probably need the most is the eraser. So I make mistakes, and it'll tell you if you wanted to erase like all annotations or like drawings and stuff.
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you go back to the top, or the typing tool, tools, where you can find the equations? I can see that in mine.
Okay, so when I was in my text box.
Oh, okay. You're going to be on the text box. Okay.
Yeah, I have the text box, and then I have the equation.
Yeah.
But you should have it right here as well, do you not? Right underneath the text?
I do have that on the side. The tools, I have it on the side, but I can't find it. The one, you know, where you can find the equations. It's going to be down at the bottom.
Yeah. You
Okay.
double, like, yeah, click on that. You see it? Got it?
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Awesome. No, thank you. Thank you for asking. Yeah, you can definitely, Stuart, you can move the text box wherever you need. Definitely. Great question. You guys are on fire. So an insert image is the same. Okay, and the signature, this is something you guys, I mean, at this point, you guys are all really familiar with. But I always appreciate when the Google search is built in. Like, so if I just want to add, you know, a picture, I don't have to go and copy and paste and stuff. I can do that straight from here, and it'll let me just drag it and put it where I want. And I really like that I can just put it, and it doesn't, I don't have to do the whole inline with text stuff, which is amazing. I'm going to delete that. So you guys, I know, deal a lot with signatures. Let's jump into that feature at the bottom. All the way at the bottom underneath the image, I'm going to have the signature. I can upload a signature. I can draw it. I can draw it on the phone. And then I've already done mine. So once you create your signature on Cami, it will allow you to insert it everywhere. Just like that. Now, I don't know, and then Ms. Warren, they would have to weigh in on like how you guys want to handle that. I know some of you have rules about like blue ink and stuff like that. I'm not in this case. I've been out of the class for 2 years now, so it might be completely different. But this is an option, is the signature option. It's a really simple. If I have one saved, I need to add that one. But to draw it, I mean, all I did was this, you know, and I'm going to cancel that one because that one's even a little better. But they've got it where you can do it on your phone. And so it'll send, you would open this link or open it up on your phone. And then it's a little easier, you know, because a lot of people have touch screens, not everybody. Some of you cool kids still have flip phones, and that is great. But that is an option if people would prefer to do it that way. And they would just insert signatures.
Excuse me. Would you repeat how to make the signature if you don't have touch screen?
Yes, right here, I'm on my laptop. And when I click draw signature, I can just do it with my mouse. So you can do it on any computer. Just some people might prefer to do it on a touch screen, but no. And the students could do the same. As long as you have like any kind of like mouse or anything, you could draw a signature. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Oh, perfect. Thanks for asking. All right, so I've got my signature here. And I keep this toggled over. Yours might look different. You might have the description next to it is probably really helpful. It's just up to you how much you want to see on your screen. I would probably encourage students to keep it open so they wouldn't keep asking what they needed to do. So we're going to move from all of our modifying tools over here to the left to then the top right over here, which has like our share features and our saving and all that kind of the important stuff on how, even if I've already opened a document, I can still open another one. And you can see all the different places. If you're a Dropbox user, that's also connected. You're just going to need to make sure, like, you can, if you're a Dropbox user, you connect with your EBR. I really like that it keeps my little recent files up. And I've got a shared file, but it's connected straight to your Google Drive, and that's generally going to be your fastest bet. If I want to share it, I can share it just like I would a Google Doc. I've got a direct link so that I could email to, you know, a teacher or anything like that. I have that restricted, or anyone with the link can view, just like I said, on Google Docs. We're kind of all familiar with this at this point, but I do have those permissions where I can choose people to be able to view or edit. So say I was trying to get, you know, signatures from 3 different teachers, I could send them this link with the permissions where they had editor. You might want to have that highlight box like we talked about earlier. And then you can also decide if you want people to be able to download and print. So do you want anybody else to be able to print this on there or download it? So you might share that out with teachers as well and be like, here you go. You know, if they're teleworkers or something, be like, here, this is your copy. But really, really seamless sharing and something you're all really, really familiar with. I can print straight from Cami. I can save. I can decide where I want it saved. Like most of you, you know, you might want to put it in your Google Drive, or you can download it again to your computer. I don't download a whole lot, but you are welcome to. You know, I'm obviously in that Google cult, and I share most of my stuff with my Google Drive. But I can choose to, like, if I've edited this document a whole lot, but I don't want to share all that, I can choose whether I want to include my edits or not as well. I've got my file name, and you might have questions where it says Flatten Annotations. That's kind of like the weirdest thing we're going to talk about today. When I say flatten, they mean like you add it to the document. So like if I save my annotations and flatten them, they would stay there. It'd be like they would become the document. They'd be part of the document. I've got Cami's got a pretty supreme help desk center. They've knocked it out of the park. I think teachers work for Cami because they really do a lot on social media. And if I don't have to answer your question, honestly, you could reach out to them on Twitter and they'd send us a response. Like if I, you know, but they've got some really good stuff right here. And then this last bar, this is cool, and I'm going to show you how to split and merge. But this is also where you can share something straight to a Google Classroom. So right here, I don't even have to go into Google Classroom. I can lay out I can pick my classroom. Pick my students. Now, if you've got one with, whether you might only want to pick 2 students, or if you've got some paperwork that needs only go 1 student, you could just select that 1 student, just like in Google Classroom. You can choose whether you save it or not. And you would schedule this all the exact same way. It will also even let you send Cami instructions to students. So like just to follow up, hey, if you don't remember how to use Cami, here are your instructions. And you could assign it straight from there, which is pretty cool. Now, say you've got a big document like this, and you're like, I don't need all of this. I just need some of it. That's where you go to that split and merge document. So I hit split and merge. And now I can pick the pages that I want and take them out. So say the state curriculum might have a bunch of graphic organizers in it. You only need 1. This is where I can go and take out what I need and share only that with my students. You can see right here, this is all of my original document. So here I could delete pages I don't need. I can put pages, maybe I want to split it into two different parts. Maybe I have a big book and I want to break it down. Maybe I only want to share one chapter of this. Anything like that I can do. And I have lots of different options here. I could do a bunch at once. I can split all these pages into individual files. Or on the opposite of that, say I've got a few different PDFs I want to put together. I can merge them together using Cami as well. So let's say I decide I want to export that. So I just only need these three. I'm going to hit export. And I can save that straight to my Google Drive. Or I can download them separately as well. Like I said, you're not fully on the Google train yet and you're getting there. I can do that as well. So I can export that. And now I've got my little selection saved to my drive if I don't need everything. Okay. So that was a lot of information at once. We'll take a pause if anybody's got any questions.
I love the merging because last time I have 3 pages in a different, I have 3, uploaded 3 pages. And when a student submitted the first page, it would say he had already turned in and he had not done the 2 pages yet. But the merging is the coolest thing I've learned today. Thank you.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, I really like that merge feature, especially since the state, all of our curriculums and stuff, their curriculum is a big PDF. So for sure, I think that's just super helpful. You could sit down and take all the graphic organizers on at once. Yvonne, you had a question? I saw you raise your hand. Look at you.
Yes, ma'am. I have a question. So I have some kids with things like I'm a study skills teacher as well. And so there are different kids from different classes asking me what buttons do they turn in? How do they turn in a document after they've filled it out?
Like on Cami?
Yes. Because they're all saying different ways and they're all saying do this first, then do that first. You have to save it first, then it goes to this page. And then like, for instance, like for our PDs, we have a common page that we all sign to say that we were at our PDs. Well, when I go to look at it after I sign and I open it, it's not there. But when the person that sent it looks at it, it's there. So what are the step-by-steps once they have like completed an assignment and they want to turn it in through Cami, what would they do?
Okay, let's walk through that. Let's see. Is the assignment in Google Classroom?
It's open in Google Classroom. And they have a choice to send it through slides. They have they can send it through Cami. They can send it through whatever option they want.
Okay. I know I have a Google Classroom here that I am a student in that I can do this on. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's telling them different things and we want to practice.
Yeah, and because also some of them are doing it through Word, some of them are doing it through slides, some of them are doing it through Cami, and I'm trying to step-by-step tell them, and they're all saying different things. So I'm trying to learn the correct way to tell them.
Okay. So like this one.
So yeah, you know how normally it would say open with, yes ma'am. So it has it right there. And so if they say open with Cami, then what do they do?
Then it would take them to this screen, right?
Yes. And then from there, they've written all their answers. How do they save it and then submit it back to the actual class, I guess you'd say?
Okay. I need my turn back in. All right, so here's my save. I'm getting somebody to assign me something.
Okay.
You know, one of these classrooms so we can walk through it so I can make sure.
Okay. Come in.
So I'm on it. But yeah, I can totally see what you mean. And maybe it would be helpful. I might make a screen recording of that. I'm gonna make a note.
Yeah, and
make like
that would be perfect.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a note of that. And so that way I can go back.
Miss Bonnie?
Yes, ma'am.
There's a sign like there's a like beside the BC, there is a word right there that would say turn in for the students page. In the students page.
Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I'm here.
With this,
Hey, can y'all hear me? I'm here. Okay, good. Okay, perfect. Okay, what were you saying, Judith? I'm so sorry, my sound cut out.
Yes, ma'am. In the student page, there is right beside their name, right beside their initial, there is, instead of save, it would say, it says turn in.
Like down here?
Right, yeah, right on the save part.
Okay.
It says turn in on the student's page.
Okay. Like I said, I'm trying to get somebody to assign me something so I can walk through it. All right, good.
I have a question.
What you got?
Okay, I deal with special need.
Yes, ma'am.
So what I did, from Unique Learning, I saved it in the PDF. So when I save it in the PDFs, I open it up with Cami, right?
Yes.
Create assignment in Cami, right?
Yes.
So I should be able to share with all my students, correct?
Yes.
Okay, it's almost like Visual.
Visual is new. Okay. I know a lot of you guys are using Visual, but only ESS uses it.
I can be able to create the assignment and click a button that says share with the students.
Yes.
And then they have a part where they can submit their assignment.
Yes. Yeah,
okay,
and that's what we're walking through right now.
Over with Antidote Cami, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Then I go over to move.
Wait, you move over to what?
Okay. I'm gonna save it over with Cami.
Okay.
Okay. What do I do next? Move on the side to move. Okay, I see where you got the arrow. Okay, when I save it in Cami, I see the assign.
Yes.
Okay. So this is my PDF right here, for an example. I put in Cami. So this is going to be the assignment.
Yes.
Okay, where do they submit it?
That's what we're walking through right now.
Okay, thank you.
So
okay, thank you.
From the student end, I had somebody come in and assign something for me. So this is a classroom where I'm a student. So right here, this is what she clicked the button where it sent students instructions. But yeah, so it has a copy of the PDF.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's got a copy of, this is just like helpful tips.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to hit open with Cami. So this is what the students see.
Mm-hmm.
And so
So
now
they're going to click on those things.
if I want to add text, so she's got right here, like use the text box to type your name. She's got her little instructions. And so I can do all of those things.
I'll see you tomorrow. All right.
Once I've done everything that I need to do on here, if you can see right here in the top right, there's a turn in button.
Oh, okay.
Attached to the save. And see, I can tell it's saved right here because it's telling me that.
Mm-hmm.
But and then I hit turn in, and then I would hit turn in, and it's going to turn that in for me.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, but Ms. Bonnie, what happens if it's not assigned in Cami and they just open it and they're going to annotate it in Cami? Then what steps would we take?
Oh, okay. So if they like take something and they want to submit it as in a Google Classroom or share it,
they want it just like we just submitted it, but you have the turn in button. Okay. When it's something that you get to choose, when it says open with, you can open with Docs, you can open with Cami, you can open with whatever. Let's just say they choose Cami. From there, it's not going to have the turn in button. So how do they save it and turn it in? Because it was not originally created in Cami.
Okay, they could share this. They could share it and send this link.
Okay, but the thing is if they share it, then it's not going to be turned into the Google Classroom for them to be graded. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, could they put the link on there?
See, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Should they do? What's the easiest way for them to turn it in so that they get credit?
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm struggling with. And I'm just like, guys, I'm trying to figure it out. Would they share it into their drive and then from their drive, copy it into the classroom? But I mean, there's got to be an easier way that I would think.
So yeah, so you have it like you have an assignment like this set up, and then they choose this, and they have these that they can choose what they use.
Correct. So like let's just say we choose with annotate with Cami. Okay.
Yeah.
Or because that's what they're doing. It's not a Cami activity, but they say annotate with Cami. Would it then from there, how do we do it?
Let's see.
Miss Yvonne, I think if it's annotated with Cami, it's the same thing, even if it's not assigned in Cami.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
But see, look, it doesn't have a turn in button right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have because the turn in button would make it obvious and we could figure that out. So like right here, you've answered the questions. And then from there, what do I do to get it back to their, to turn it into Google Classroom?
Okay.
Because this is what I normally see, because a lot of our teachers aren't familiar with Cami, so they're not assigning it in Cami. And so the different classes are assigning it all different ways, but your option is to do Google Slides, Docs, or Cami. And so they ask me, then how do they send it through the classroom?
Okay. All right. I think I have an answer.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so right here,
okay,
and then they could put that link.
Okay.
Yeah, either they could use Cami and add it to their drive and attach it right here.
Okay.
Or they could take that share link and link it right here.
And as a teacher, when you open that assignment, is it going to then be visible? Because like, see how it just said you don't have permission?
Oh, that's the students. Yeah. Okay.
See, that's what I'm struggling with, is because, and then sometimes if you share it through Google Drive, it'll say you can't share it or edit it because it's not, you have to ask permission. So that, I mean, and I understand if you don't know the answer right now, you can get back to me, that would be perfect. But as the study skills teacher and as also ESS, my kids are having assignments from all these different teachers using different genres, I guess you'd say.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
I can.
Get a link, it's restricted. And so, like I said, you don't have to try to figure that out right now. You can do whatever else. And then if you wouldn't mind getting back to me, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, let's make some, shoot me an email.
Okay.
Maybe let's make some short screencasts for your kids.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
We'll make a little, what to do if I do this.
Exactly.
That's what you're saying. No, yeah, let's, that would probably be a helpful document we create. So if you could shoot me an email.
Not a problem.
Let's build something out, and then we could add it for all the different options they have.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for your help.
No, thank you. I'm glad.
Okay, I have one question, Jupiter. So what she said is I put in for the assignment, you know, from Google, not Google, Unique Learning. After each little booklet, they have a little short test quiz. So I will put that on an assignment. So I create to share to all the students under their name. So what she's saying that I won't be able to see the graded assignment.
No, her question is just if they like it's over a bunch of different teachers.
Oh, okay. I'm just concerned about
yeah.
I should be able to see it for my class, special needs students.
If you do it that way, it's going to show up the way we just talked about. She's got teachers who are assigning it in different ways, so it's showing up for different students. So we're going to try to figure out a way across. Yeah, like hers is different because she deals with lots of different teachers and how they set it up.
Okay, see, well, we are departmentalized, like I do social studies. But when I share with all the students in that class, I should be able to see their assignment, their tests. I would be able to do that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem.
It's a big help to me because
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Cami. And you know what? Honestly, all the things we purchase, this is not the most expensive. I think it's the most useful though. It's really got a lot of like quick, easy features.
So they should be able to go in and click the answer in this with this.
Yeah, they'll be able to type on it. If you like take the Imagine Learning chapter you need, put it as an assignment, they can type on it and then turn it back into you.
So what happened is, well, these are very low. And with the little test, it might be a question, then they have the little circle around the answer. Would they be able to just click into that circle and choose the correct answer?
They would have to make some, you would probably have to ask them to add a shape or something. Like you might want to say like,
it's already done for them in the program.
Okay.
So, you know, they have an A like a circle, B with a circle with one answer. So what I'm asking you, could they go directly into just click their answer on that test? Yeah. That's what I need. Thank you so much.
No problem. And you look, and once again, if this isn't exactly like, if it doesn't come out or you're still confused, like just get with me and I can even just hop on a meet one-to-one or come sit down with you and we can figure it out. But yeah, the recording, I will email this to Miss Warren and she can send it out. But if you shoot me an email, I'll respond with it. I have a copy of the recording. I don't have a.
So your name is Bonnie?
Yeah, Bonnie Chelette.
Okay. Thank you.
Bonnie.
I don't have a sign-in sheet. Does the ESS, do you guys normally have a sign-in sheet?
Sometimes they usually do. Sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. Well, they should be able to see that we logged in, right, for a sign-in?
Yeah. I've got
Bonnie,
yeah, I don't have an ESS sign-in if they have one.
Bonnie,
Sorry. Yes.
before you stop the video, click on everybody's on the right side. Click on the people, the number of people 38, and you can scroll down so everybody
That's what I'm doing.
can be in the video.
There you go.
So that's your sign-in.
There you go. Yep, did it. Yeah, you guys are all here. You're just a great group. You got some really, really good questions, and I'm looking forward to building out what we talked about with like a document, like a little guide for students. So I'm excited about that. It was a really good question. So I think that is, we are right at an hour, which is all I intended to spend. Yep, we were right there. So I am going to stop this recording. I'm going to send this recording to Miss Warren. And if you want, if you need a copy or anything, just let me know. If